Weber, and I'm running for state's attorney. I want to take a little time here and now to tell you about a lady I knew by the name of Barbara Kuhn. Barbara was sleeping on her couch one evening in what she thought was a secure building for seniors. She woke up to Robert Dahl rummaging through her purse in her apartment. She was frightened. She was violated. She started to get up from the couch. She yelled. Robert Dahl fled. Robert Dahl took with him Barbara's wallet and the last few pictures that Barbara had of her deceased child. I tried that case before 12 jurors. The defense argued mistaken identity. Barbara's credibility was the crux of the issue during that trial. It was a very difficult trial. A knockdown, drag-out against a very good defense attorney. Robert Dahl was convicted. I asked the judge that he be sentenced to the maximum sentence of 30 years, of course. He was sentenced to 20 years in prison. This is just an example of just one case where I was a vigorous advocate for a crime victim. A voice for those who cannot speak for themselves in the courtroom. For 21 years as a prosecutor, I've tried 123 felony jury trials, 42 first-degree murder jury trials. Each one of them a knockdown, drag-out, good versus evil, attempt at least at conquest over the criminal. For 15 years in Winnebago County, I did so, obtaining convictions in most of those cases. Now, my opponent in this primary has questioned my judgment in this case and in many others. And I would welcome criticism from someone who had half the experience that I have. I would welcome criticism from someone who had tried maybe 50 felony jury trials. I would welcome criticism from someone who had tried maybe 25 knockdown, drag-out criminal trials. Maybe 10. But I've been asking him for 3 months to name one criminal case. One serious, violent criminal that he went toe-to-toe, as I did for 15 years, in a knockdown, drag-out trial, as I did for 15 years, and then earned a substantial sentence, as I did for 15 years, of 20, 40, 60, 80, 75, 99, natural life. The sentences that I obtained going toe-to-toe against these violent criminals. And he has yet to name a specific single case as such. Let's talk about my judgment. My judgment has been to try the very difficult, demanding cases in the courtroom for the victims. Judgment is a fair issue to be brought up in this campaign. And so I'm going to tell you about the only serious homicide-related case that I'm aware of that Mr. Gill handled. Case number 04-CF-2016, concealment of a homicidal death. In that case, an individual by the name of Michael Lidster was charged with concealment of a homicidal death his co-defendants or cohorts shot this man. Michael Litzter was in the same room while they put Drano in a syringe and stuck it in his neck while he was gurgling his last breaths of life. Michael Litzter tied this man's ankles up with a cord and put a bag over this man shortly after he died so that they could dispose of the body. He helped while they wrapped this individual in a carpet and dumped him out in a field. Michael Litzter, the individual that David Gill prosecuted, bought the gas for the finishing touch. They poured gasoline on this individual and lit him on fire for him to burn. Quite a Christian burial. He was charged with concealment of a homicidal death. It's a crime which has the sentence of 2 to 10 years in the penitentiary. Mr. Gill walked into the courtroom, pled that case to a Class A misdemeanor for 7 days in jail. For this felony in which Litzter was available to Mr. Gill to prosecute in the courtroom was a 10-year sentence, 7 days in jail. Now, as a young prosecutor, starting my career in 1987 and for 15 years in Winnebago County, I have been astonished to observe many prosecutors who are simply afraid to try cases. But one thing I've never been accused of is being afraid to try a case. I'm running for state's attorney because I've been in private practice for 3 years, and I'm astonished at the lack of judgment in these plea agreements, which I can only assume are due to a fear of trying a case in a courtroom. I want to be your prosecutor and continue my lifelong mission to take down these violent criminals. Violent crime is destroying this community. I'm asking you to support me with my experience and help me put an end to it. Thank you.